Hi guys, welcome. This is going to be a great full body workout for you, covering everything. I'm going to try and get to all parts here. We're not going to need any props today, just need a yoga mat, something soft to lie on. Of course, taking any breaks when and if you need to. If something doesn't feel good for your body, don't do it. Listen to it. We're going to start lying down on your back. Starting off just by finding your breath here. You can close your eyes if that feels good. I'm going to take hands around my ribs, thumbs in the back, 4 fingers in the front. Start to take a nice big inhale, breathing into your thumbs and into your back ribs. And then exhaling through your front ribs, really feeling them try to knit together, letting your waist narrow in. Again, big inhale, breathe into the back and the sides of your body. Exhaling to feel that belly button draw in towards your spine. You're waking up those transverse abdominals that wrap around your waist here. Let's go for one more big breath. And then lowering your hands to the front of your pelvis, diamond shape. Thumbs to your belly button, 4 fingers to your pubic bone. Start to add in your pelvic tilt. So as you exhale, low abs draw in, a little scoop and tuck of the tail towards you. Inhaling to reverse that. Stick your tail out away from you towards the mat. Again, you exhale, low abs draw in, little scoop, and then inhale to release. Now notice as you're doing this, maybe those big muscle groups behind your legs are starting to kick on. See if you can completely relax them. So that instead you're firing just into those low abs. You're finding a widening sensation here. Last 2. Last 1. Arms come next to you on the mat. On your next exhale, tuck that tail. We're peeling those hips off for your first bridge. 1 vertebrae at a time. Giving yourself a big inhale at the top. Exhaling to close your ribs and bone by bone, melt your spine all the way down. Letting your tail relax at the very bottom. You scoop to lift those hips right back up. Lengthening through the front of your hips at the very top, before massaging your spine on the way down. Really think how much can you articulate here and how much you can open through the front of your body. Starting to really squeeze into those back legs now, turning on the smile line of your cheeks. We're going to go for about 3 more. Last 2, keeping those front ribs in, trying not to overarch into your low back at all. Keep that tug of your tail, so important. On the next one, keep those hips lifted at the top, you'll hold here. Take a second, can you tuck that tail even more underneath you? From here, thighs stay quiet. You're going to lift just your left hip up an inch to the ceiling, and then your right hip lifts an inch. Left hip lifts an inch, right hip lifts an inch. You are isolating just 1 glute at a time. Notice how this makes your abs kick on a little bit here, helping to rotate that pelvis, even though it's so tiny, so isolated. Now once you are even on both sides, you're going to find your center and hold here. Can you tuck your tail even more? Shifting weight over to your left leg. You're going to float your right leg up to tabletop. Lower it down. You switch, shift to the right, left leg lifts. Go ahead, taking hands to your hips if you like that hands-on guide. You are progressing now. Those abs kicking on even more. Glutes are firing 1 at a time. Now if you are starting to feel anything in your low back, maybe lowering your hips a little bit to tuck that tail even more, getting into those glutes. Take your time. We're almost there. 1 more to each side. Once you are even, you find your center, hips lift just that extra inch, and then melt your spine all the way down. Whew, perfect. Give yourself a little shake. Whatever feels good here. Maybe a little release into those hammies. Legs are nice and warm. From here, hands are going behind your head. We're going to hop into some ab work here. Elbows you can see out of the corners of your eyes. You've got a nice neutral pelvis. Your tail is heavy towards the floor. You've got a little pocket of air under your low spine here. On your exhale, let your arms carry your head to nod and curl up. Inhale to let the head go back. You exhale, arms carry your head. Inhale to go back. Front ribs are pulling in. You're going to go for 5 more here. Again, if you start to feel anything in your low spine, you flatten your low back to an imprinted spine to support you. 3 more. For 2. On the next one, you're going to stay curled up and hold here. Find your pelvic tilts. On your exhale, tuck the pelvis towards you. Inhale, stick your tail out away. You're staying curled up, low abs draw in, a little scoop. Inhale to release. You're just isolating into those low abs and your pelvic floor, pulling in and up. Try your best again to relax through those back legs just like we did earlier. For 4. Can you curl up half an inch higher? 3. 2. Last one. Let the head go back for a breath here. Give yourself a nice big inhale. Adding on your exhale, you nod and curl yourself up. And you float right leg to tabletop. Lowers down. You switch. Lower and switch. Now, if this starts to feel enough for you, you stick with it. We're going to keep progressing on. Any point neck needs a break. Let that head go back for a breath as you keep going. Totally fine. I want you to think low abs pull in to lift that leg up to tabletop. Once you are even, can you lift right leg to tabletop? Left leg comes up to meet it. Pulsing your legs. Up an inch, down an inch. Up an inch, down an inch. Belly button to spine. Squeezing those legs. You're still feeling good? Maybe you reach those legs long. For your last 6. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Let everything lower for a breath here. Go ahead and cross your right leg over your left. Let your legs dip to the right. Arms cactus shape. Turn your head to the left. Give yourself a big release into that side waist. Switching when you feel good. Left leg over your right. We should be feeling nice and warm through your center now. We're going to go ahead and warm up into the shoulders a little bit here. You're going to meet me hands and knees, so go ahead and flip yourself over. Now from here, give yourself a few serratus punches. So arms stay straight, you're going to sink into your shoulder blades, let them pinch together. You reverse that, lift away up towards the ceiling. Arms stay straight, shoulder blades pinch, chest falls, reverse that and lift. Go for just 5 more. We're waking up through those posture muscles here. Last 3. Last 1. Next time you're lifted, you're going to stay lifted here. Think that you are trying to rip that floor apart with your arms. Now from here, I want you to tuck your toes behind you. On your exhale, feel those low abs draw in so much that your knees lift to a hover and knees lower back down. Exhale, low abs draw in, they widen to lift those knees to a hover and lower back down. You are keeping the lift out of your shoulder blades and your long neutral spine here. Go for 3 more. For 2. Adding on, knees stay lifted on this next one and hold. Find those pelvic tilts just like earlier. Tuck the tail, low abs in. Inhale, stick your tail out. Exhale, low abs in, little scoop. Inhale to release. You're here for 5. So much control. Shoulders working to stabilize. For 3. Last 2. Last 1. Lower your knees. Let them fall open. Give yourself a big child's pose here. Relaxing through that low spine. From here, you're going to meet me lying down on your right side. We're going to set up for some sideline work. So right forearm, elbows underneath that shoulder, legs are nicely stacked. Right away, you're going to find a lift out of the right side of your waist so that those obliques are kicking on. Meet me with that top leg long. Flex the toes towards your face. Maybe that leg is slightly behind you here. And from there, you're just going to lift and lower at first. We're going to focus on getting into the side glute. Don't be afraid to take a hand there, helping that muscle just kind of kicked on with that tactile cue. You're lifting just to where you can without allowing your waist to shrink, right? That might shorten your range. You're thinking more of a reach. If that neck gets tired at any point, just let your head point down towards the floor. Or you can even rest yourself all the way down. That's always an option. Again, listen to your body. 5 more. For 3. Keeping that leg lifted on this next one, you're going to hold here at hip height. Start to sweep the leg forward here. As the leg is forward, you are sticking your tail out behind you. Try not to tuck here. You hinge at the hip. Reverse that. Sweep that leg behind you. Squeezing through the back leg. Abs in. Hinge. Sweep forward. Notice how my upper body is staying strong and quiet for these first few. Abs have to work. Can you keep that leg up in line with your spine here? Or in line with your hips. Now, as you keep going, we're going to add on a little bit of that upper body. So as your leg sweeps behind, can you sweep that top arm forward? Rotate your ribs, you're looking towards the floor. Reverse that. Leg goes forward. Shine your heart to the ceiling. Little reach behind. Again, leg goes back, arm forward. Reverse that. Leg forward, arm back. 3 more sets. You're warming up into those ribs. Those obliques are working. It should feel pretty good here. And you should be starting to get a little bit of a burn into that left glute. You're going to meet me. Leg is behind you. Arm is forward and hold. Can you reach out even more in opposition? Start to pulse that left leg up and inch, down and inch. Up and inch, down and inch. Lift up that right side. Squeeze into that left glute. You're here for 8. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So good. Draw that leg in. Tap it out for a breath here. Go ahead and flip to your hands and knees again. And give yourself some cat-cows after that. Rounding your spine, look towards your belly. You're going to arch and look up towards the ceiling. Give yourself what feels good, whether a head roll or a tail roll here. 1 more set. Now from here, meet me in your long neutral spine. You're going to reach that left leg, same leg you were just working behind you. Reach out through that leg. You're going to lift and lower. Reach out to lift and lower. We're still working. We're getting a nice burn through that left glute even more here. Notice right away, are we shifting into your right hip, which is normal, right? See if instead maybe you challenge yourself, shifting a little more weight towards your left arm. Maybe right arm comes off just to test your balance, get your abs to work, find your center. Let's keep going with the lift of that leg. You're adding in a tricep bend. Arm lifts, tricep bend to the floor. Straighten those arms as you lower the leg. If you need to make that range smaller, go halfway with those elbows, that's fine. Straighten and lower. Leg lifts, think elbows hugging your waist. 5 more like that. Abs stay active. Never arching into your low spine. You've got 4 more. For 3. Last 2. On this next one, bend those arms halfway. Now you're gonna hold here. Can you get those elbows in a little more? Now pulse those arms up an inch, down an inch. Draw that belly button in. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let everything lower. Woo, that was killer. Knees open. Give yourself that child's pose. Awesome, awesome work. So that was, again, nice full body. That left glute should have been working. Abs were working to stabilize you, and then those triceps. Now let's go ahead and set up for the other side. So let's be lying on your left side now. Right away, you're finding the lift of that shoulder and out of that left waist here. Top leg reaches long. Pressing into that heel. Little lift and lower. Now I have a big tendency, as I flex that foot, I'm gonna have a little more pressure towards the outside of my foot. So if you're like me, almost think, it's hard for me, but a slight bit of pressure towards the inside of your arch. So more of a full footprint. You might just get into that glue a different way. 5 more. Using your breath to help you, especially now you know what's coming on the other side. Let your breath help you through. Leg stays lifted. We take that hinge forward, stick your tail out. Right glute brings that leg behind. Upper torso stays quiet for the first few, just to find that nice hinge. Trying to keep that leg in line with your spine. And then once you feel good, we're adding in that upper body. So leg goes back, arm goes forward. You find that true reach. You switch, leg goes forward. Shine your heart to the ceiling. Little reach behind. Leg forward, brings in. You switch, leg forward, arm back. 3 more sets. Take your time. Think you're moving like through mud, peanut butter, nice and juicy. Last set. Leg's gonna stay behind you on this next one. You hold here. Pulls that leg up and inch out and inch to finish for 10. Can you get your abs in a little more? Lift out of that left shoulder for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tap it out. Beautiful. Turning to your hands and knees now. Just one more time. Go for those cat-cows again if you need it. You deserve it. Rounding towards your belly. Arch to the ceiling. Take what feels good. Once you're even, long spine here. Right leg, that same leg is reaching behind. You start with the lower. Squeeze to lift. Lower, you reach to lift. Notice if you're lifting, are you sinking into your back? Is your upper body moving? Don't want that, right? How strong, how supported can your spine stay this whole time? And all of that happens from that core work. Again, test yourself, getting out of your left hip. Shift your weight to your right arm. Maybe left arm comes off for a few reps. See how you feel. Starting to add in that same tricep bend, leg lifts, elbows bend, leg lowers, arms straighten. Reach the left. Beautiful. How narrow can you get those elbows? How much can you control, not just on the way down, but on the way up? Can you go a little slower? Let's go for 4 more. For 3. We're going to finish it off with those pulses. On the next one, you're going to stay down and hold. Elbows in a little more. Pulse those arms up an inch, down an inch. Belly button in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. A child's pose. Woo. Whole body work. Give yourself a breath. Awesome, awesome job. Now from here, before we come to standing, we're gonna lie down on your stomach. Just a little bit of extension work. You're gonna open yourself up here. Now you're gonna set yourself up on your stomach. Arms are gonna come into a little cactus shape with your arms. Forehead to the mat. If it's uncomfortable for you, you can always wrap a little towel just so you have a little bit of a head lift right below your forehead. We're not going to stay down for too long, so see how you feel. Now what we're focusing on are your posture muscles, so the center of your shoulder blades here. I want you to first tuck your tail, pubic bone to the floor. Your low abs are staying super active. You're reaching through those back legs, so whole body's working again. Now from here, first thing, hands are going to lift off of the floor. Elbows lift off of the floor. Your shoulder blades are squeezing together. Reach through the crown of your head to lift your chest away from the floor. And then melt everything back down. Hands lift, elbows lift, shoulder blades squeeze. Reach through the crown of your head to lift. And then lower back down. So there's a few different parts. Take your time getting this, and you may not have a huge range of motion. You've got to keep your low abs active, so we're not sinking into that low spine. Hands, elbows, shoulder blades, chest. You think more of a reach rather than the height. Go for about 3 more. For 2. On this next one, we're staying lifted. Hold here. Now from here, can you reach your arms long? Bend your elbows back in. Little squeeze right beneath the armpits. Reach long. Squeezing into those lats. Shoulder blades down. 5 more. Keep those low abs in. For 4, all that posture work. For 3. For 2. Last one. So good. And then lower everything down. Bending those legs for me. Take a little windshield wipe of your legs side to side. Rocking out through that low spine. And then we're going to go ahead and come to standing from here. Now you're going to meet me in a wide turned out position. We're going to set up for a few sumo squats here. Now from here, hips are going to just lower straight down towards the mat. Knees bend to the sides of the room, pressing into your heels to stand nice and tall. You bend, knees to the side, hips lower, and then resist to stand. Now I want you to focus here on the top of your inner thighs. So can you think pressing into your heels, and then as if you're trying to squeeze the heels together, especially at the bottom, and then on the way up. Keeping length through your waist, so some space between your ribs and your hips at all times. Notice if you're hinging or leaning forward. Again, you want to really think to the side and straight down, like you're sliding against a wall here. Go for about 4 more, controlling each way. For 3. Last 2. On the next one, you're going to stay low and hold. Can you take right heel up? It lowers. You switch left heel, lower, and switch. Continuing to alternate. Squeezing those inner legs. Back legs are working as well. Spine is long, core engaged. Once you're even, maybe lifting both heels, lower both heels. Squeeze that floor below you. You got it. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Heels are lifted, hold, pulse down an inch, up an inch for 8, and then you're out of it. Last 5, tall spine. For 3, 2, and 1. Lower your heels, control to stand. Beautiful work. Shaking out those hips here. Awesome job. Maybe standing towards the end of your mat. We're going to finish it off with just one kind of big plank series here. Let's take arms to the ceiling. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Chin to chest. Roll yourself all the way down. Hands to the floor. Walking yourself forward into a plank here. If you need to find those forearms, go ahead. Tuck your tail, squeezing through those back legs. Now you're going to take little hip dips. Right hip lowers, left hip lowers. Find those obliques. If any plank doesn't feel good, feel free to just hold a regular plank. Totally fine. Once you're even, find your center and hold here. You're going to bring right knee to your chest. Switch. Left knee to your chest. Switch. You've got 8 more. This is it. Slow and controlled mountain climbers. Last 6. Upper body is strong. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both legs behind, knees down. Sit back, big breath. Whew. Let's take both hands right side of the mat. Breathe into the left. You switch, hands to the left to breathe into the right. From here, you're going to meet me proposal stance. I'm going to fold up my yoga mat just to give my knees some support here. Left leg comes in front. Let's get that hip flexor stretch. Slight tuck of your tail, abs engaged. Squeeze that right glute, and then press those hips forward. Getting a nice stretch along the front of that right thigh. If you want to increase, right arm reaches up and over. Gently coming out of that, lengthen that front leg, toes to the ceiling. Find a hamstring stretch here. Think left hip back, right hip forward. If you can't touch the floor, grab some props, stack some books, yoga bricks, lots of options. And then you're going to switch here. Left knee down, right leg forward. Slight tuck of that tail, lengthen into that left hip now, abs in. Squeeze that left glute. Press those hips forward. If you want to increase, left arm comes up and over. Reversing that, lengthen through your front leg, toes to the ceiling if you can. Find that hamstring and calf. Think right hip back, left hip forward here. And then once you feel good coming out of that, and you guys are all set. That was awesome work. Quick full body workout for you. Any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. Hope you're feeling good. I'll see you guys soon.